Hi, what's up guys? So today's another episode for the SC300. Obviously, as you can see by the caption, I changed the color of the SC. So for quite a few episodes now, I've always said that one of the next steps was going to be to do a little bit of body work on the car and actually paint it. Matt and I were planning on painting it just because we've never actually fully painted a car before, so we are going to try it out on the drift car. But after a while of me thinking about it and committing to actually painting a car, especially one of my cars and this car in general, I might change the color quite a bit. Like, if you guys have known me through Instagram, my BRZ has been a ton of different colors, and almost every single year I change the color. Now I've kind of not cared anymore, so it's been a couple years. But I used to always change the color because I would get bored of something. So on the drift car, like if something gets damaged and I have to buy a new body panel, I have to buy a new bumper or anything like that, instead of having to set up another paint booth and spray it again, I figured I might as well just wrap the car, because that way I could just keep some vinyl, which I think the amount that I ordered, I think I'll actually have some left, and just keep some as backup, so in case if I do wreck something, I could just buy a new panel and just rewrap it, and then it looks the same as the rest. So let me show you guys what color I ended up going with and the reason why I decided to go with this color. I already started wrapping it. I'm 2 days into it already, so I'm just gonna be able to wrap just the driver's side door for tonight. But I also have a new engine that I gotta show you guys that's gonna be going into this thing probably a year from now. But let's just I'll show you guys what I've been wrapping so far, and we'll just get into wrapping that door. So, I don't know if you guys could fully tell, but I wrapped it a metallic black. So in the sun, I haven't seen it outside yet, but in the sun for the most part, it kind of looks like gunmetal wherever the sun is hitting it. But like you can see like down the side, it's definitely black. But where the sun starts like showing, it starts getting like a little gunmetal, just because, let me see if I can get my flashlight out so I can show you. It's like a nice, like, subtle sparkle to it. So, the reason why I decided to go black, because I was originally, we were going to paint it red. That was the original plan. Paint it red, and then do some white wheels on it. But, I saw a picture of a black SC300 or 400, and it had the same rear trunk lip that I'm getting. I'm actually getting it tomorrow, so I wish I had it today so I could actually wrap it and put it on. But it was like a nice rear photo of like the trunk lip on a black car, like on a black SC, and it looked really good. And then I also saw pictures of an actual drift car SC, black with like just like gray wheels, and just like for some reason the black just like really stood out, and it looked like really nice, and it looked really clean. And I was like, you know what? I think as like the first color, I want to do black. I think I'm going to paint these wheels white, and I want to get a new set of wheels for the front, but basically just do a black and white combo, and I think it'll look pretty good. So the first night I was here, I did the trunk, both the quarter panels, and that rear bumper. And now I am not a professional wrapper at all, but I have to say it is coming out extremely well. This is actually my like third full like car vehicle wrap that I've done. The last one that I did, which I should have made a video on, but I wrapped a Pro 2 Formula Drift car for one of the dudes up here in Connecticut, and that's when I was kind of more leaning towards actually wrapping my car as well. But like you can see, the roof looks nice and smooth. It looks nice. The door is nice and smooth. Like the door has some like dents and scratches and stuff in it, and I didn't do any body work to it, unlike my my Impreza drift car that I had, which I did a bunch of body work videos. I'll put the link up there. But the Impreza, I actually went through and I did a ton of body work on the car, and then we wrapped it. Not me, my buddy wrapped it, and it came out awesome. This one is gonna be a drift car. It's gonna get, dented. It's not supposed to be perfect. I just want it all one color, and it's coming out really, really well so far. So what I'm going to show you right now, I gotta take the mirror off And then I tried to take the other door handle off because I ideally wanted to take these out so I could like tuck the wrap in between it and then like obviously wrap the handle like afterwards. But this nut isn't that hard to get to. This nut, like right here on this side, is like right in line with the window track, so I'd have to take the whole window track regulator, the window, everything out, and I didn't want to go that in depth. I honestly don't care enough to do it, to actually take it all apart, so I just wrapped over it and I just trimmed it and stuff. So let me show you on this side. Like, it doesn't look too bad. Like, you can see kind of like some of the areas where I like miscut a little bit, but for the most part it looks like a black door handle, so I'm totally happy with just how it came out. So that's the same thing I'm going to do on this side. I'm just going to wrap over it and then trim it, and I just got to get the mirror out just so I could get the flat piece on, and then we're going to start wrapping it. I just got to clean it too, just because this is still all dirty. It's just like the hood, it's all dirty. And what I actually did, ideally, if I was actually gonna like wrap this thing for like a customer or anything like that, I would have done it all one piece. But I actually made the door body one piece, and then I did the upper A / I guess what would kind of be a roof, but C pillar area. I'd wrapped all that right there a separate piece. So there's a seam right about here, which if you it might pick up kind of easy on camera, but in person it's really hard to see. Actually, you can't really see it here either, if it'll focus. No, you can't even really see it, but it's right here. Barely even see it in person. So that's what I'm gonna do again, just because it made it easier. I didn't have to cut one giant sheet. I could just do two separate pieces. And what I used on that side for this was actually cut off extra from when I did the big piece for the door, so that worked out. So I'm gonna go clean this, and then we're gonna get wrapping. Also, I just gotta say, if you don't have one of these wrapping gloves when you go to like vinyl wrap a car, definitely go get one. This is my first time using it like for this car, and I did these quarter panels on this car in like literally 10 minutes. This thing is like absolutely amazing. I should have got this thing way sooner than I did. I've always seen my buddy use one of these, but I've never actually like thought to go get one. This thing was like 10 bucks, and it saves so much time. It's so easy. I like using my hand to like get all the air bubbles out anyway, instead of really using a squeegee. So this thing is awesome. Well worth the $10. Alright, and just like that, this main portion of the door panel is wrapped. So I just got to cut out the handle now. But how I was saying right before that I use the glove a lot, but what I use for the lower portion of this, what I actually learned from the other side, is that when I tried to use my glove, it was such a big flat surface area that I couldn't really, I was having a hard time getting all that like small little air bubbles out. So I did the method what I used for the roof, which is I used my squeegee that has like a felt liner to it. I actually modified a squeegee myself just so it has like a little bit of felt on either side. And I used the quick detailer spray that I used to clean the door panel. I just sprayed that down to wet it so then the squeegee doesn't scratch it at all. And I just worked from the center outward on either side. And that works a lot better for big flat areas, like the roof, for instance. It helps just not scratch it, and it helps it, the squeegee just makes it even when you're pulling it, like pulling all the air bubbles out. So that works well for right there. I always start the top, like this upper area by hand, and it has this like body line that you can't really pick it up on camera, but it like, oh, now I got someone calling me. Alright, that was Matt on the phone. But, so, I'm trying to pick up the body line. You can see right here how it curves inward. It does that for the whole door. So I do the top portion by hand, and then I kind of like get this body line started by hand, and then I start just using the squeegee to really stuff it up into there. Because I tried to use like my thumb or like my index finger on the opposite side, and it couldn't really get all the air bubbles out. But there's no air bubbles at all. All of it's nice and smooth, nice and you can see a couple dents here and there, but I'm sure there's going to be plenty more dents once I start getting better at drifting and I'm able to tandem. But now I'm just going to go cut the handle out by just off camera, and we'll time lapse the upper portion right now. Alright, and there we go, just like that, the top piece is wrapped. So that scrap piece that I had from the extra cutoff of the lower piece, that was a little bit more material than I probably should have used. I would have, the other side I only had maybe like that much extra. So I actually had to heat up, like I was able to apply this area flat. And then when it got to this bend, obviously the wrap just wanted to keep on going straight. So what I had to do is I kind of had to like heat and like just like bend, like technically bend it, I guess, to aim it downward. So that was the only different thing I had to do on that side. This side, the piece was big enough to just cover the whole thing, so I didn't have to use any heat at all. I just used the glove, and obviously then trimmed it, and it's all nice and trimmed. No imperfections at all. Goes all the way down, and then again, you can just barely see that line right there. See, like right here, you can't see it anymore. So I'm totally fine with just those seams. Plus, once the mirror is back on, I don't know, maybe it'll kind of hide it a little bit, and then same with the door handles. Still, this is probably a 7 out of 10 job for door handles, but I don't care. The rest of the car is going to come out pretty good, so I'm happy with how it is. So now that's everything that I can do right now. I could wrap the front bumper, but the way it attaches obviously is those small little push clips I have that bolt onto here, which this is all flexible. So I won't be able to bolt the bumper on in order to heat it and stretch it like I had to do with the rear bumper. So front bumpers have to wait until fenders are back on, and unfortunately I can't wrap the side skirts that I have either, because I needed to wait to put my new fenders on and see what I have to trim, because the OEM fenders I have over there, I had to trim this back section out just a little bit to clear the steering angle. So getting some KBD polyurethane 50 mil over full replacement front fenders. So I need to wait for those to come in just to see. I think I measured out 50 mil from the stock fenders, and it's going to make the wheel poke out maybe only like that far instead of like 3 inches. I didn't really care about the amount of poke that the wheels had, but I figured, again, while I'm doing everything, I might as well just get the front fenders that I wanted. So they were only like $4.50 for them. So I got those. So I gotta wait for those to come in before I can wrap those. And then I'm actually not gonna be using this hood. This is like the OEM like steel hood, which no joke, like I wish I could weigh it. It probably weighs like 80 pounds. Like that thing's like crazy heavy. I was just gonna go with a fiberglass hood, but for literally $100 more, I was able to get the carbon option of the fiberglass one that I wanted. So I figured I might as well just spend the extra $100 and get the carbon fiber one. I'm gonna wrap it so it looks identical to my ISF hood that you guys saw in the last episode. Basically, this carbon hood is gonna have some like vents going down the centers, pretty much exactly how the ISF hood looks. And I'm gonna leave the vent areas carbon, but I'm gonna wrap the rest of it black. So it'll pretty much just mimic exactly what the ISF has on it, which would be kind of cool. Like, you know, tying in two of my actual Lexus black cars together with carbon fiber hoods, that kind of match would be kind of cool. But that's all I can do for wrapping today. So I'm gonna clean up all of the excess wrap stuff I have literally laying around everywhere. And once I clean everything up, I'm going to put some of these things inside the car so they don't get lost or broken. And then we're going to play with the new motor that I got over there. I'm going to show you guys it and get it on an engine stand so we can take a look at it better. One other thing I forgot to mention was that I actually baked and repainted my headlights, which you can't really tell right now because they're still all foggy. I've got the headlight resto kit right here for it. But I opened them up back at my house over the weekend, and I painted the inside gray. I actually painted it the same color as what I painted the like the inner trunk area and like what the engine bay will eventually be, and probably the interior too. I think the interior is going to be that color. Here, you can see it right here. I painted it that same gray, so it'll. And I didn't want to do. I didn't want to do black because the whole outside of the car is going to be black, so I didn't want to just all blacked out. But I did the gray just because from the outside you won't really know why it was gray until you pop the hood or open up the trunk or do anything like that, and then you'll see it's kind of like the secondary accent color of the car. So I did gray. Alright, so I just got the engine stand together. This thing we've been sitting in the corner for like, I don't know, 2 years now. Finally have a reason to put it together. And I've got my new motor right over there for the SC. I'm just going to go attach this piece to it and I'll get it on the stand. Alright, so as you can tell, we're not at the shop anymore. I was just editing this video that you're watching now, and I just realized that my whole explanation for the new motor that's going to be going in the SC for some reason didn't film, like it didn't record it. So I'm just going to leave you guys with that little cliffhanger right there. If you know motors, you know what type of motor that is, just clearly by just me quickly glancing over at it. I'm going to leave that probably for the next episode. I was going to leave this video, like, basically rope in all of the other wrapping I have that I still have to do, like the front fenders, the bumper, skirts, and the hood. I was going to make that all one video, but when I was editing this one, it was already at 17 minutes, and that's just for me explaining the color, walking around the car, just talking about that stuff. And then next episode we'll be finishing up all the wrap, getting it all in the car, and maybe I will go into what motor that was and the reason behind it. So I'm just going to leave you guys right there with that one. So thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to give me a subscribe, give us a thumbs up, it'll really help us out, and we'll see you guys in the next video.